just get our little ponytail up out of the way. And there we go. Okay. Oof. All right. Let's wait for my wait for my I don't know why my computer's running so slow, but it's one of those things. Hey everybody, welcome to the Sunday Sunday Live. And give me a second here, folks. I've been editing, so my brain takes a few minutes to switch gears. Let's get this on live chat. Let's pop out the chat. And then, of course, as soon as I pop out the chat. Now, before we go any further, I want to tell it. Okay, before I go any further, I want to tell everybody that if you missed the Plano Paws video for the giveaway of the paw bomb, I had to take it down and re-upload it because the coupon code was wrong. Not my error. It is not, I found out this morning that they gave me the wrong coupon code. So the coupon code for the Plano Paws paw bomb, if you've entered the contest, and you will get, it's kind of mixed up. Once he does the draw, he will send me the names and I will announce them on video. Don't pay attention to anybody pretending to be me in the comments, okay? But the coupon code was Plano Paws 15. Okay, now I don't know why this is not starting, so I'm just going to pop my chat out. What the heck is going on here? I think my computer's frozen. I do believe my computer is frozen. So give me a second here, folks. I'm not going to restart my computer because then I won't have it at all. I just have to get back in here. My channel, my videos. Let's see if I can't get you guys up and running. There we go, live. There it is. Okay. Okay, and I don't know why, but because I live in Quebec, all the ads they send me or put on my channel for me to view are in French. Therefore, the people are losing probably 30% of their ad revenue because they specifically send French ad. All the ads on YouTube, because I live in Quebec, they come up in French. So, do we have to put Gracie back into the Instagram direct message, into the Instagram to be entered? I don't know. I would say it's a pretty safe bet. No, you don't, because the coupon code is the only thing that's changed. The coupon code was not Plano Paws. It was Plano Paws 15. So you don't have to re-enter. It's only if you're shopping that you need the coupon code, okay? Now, let's get this chat moving along here. Let's F11 this. Okay, and where's my chat? Nope, that's not it. Oh, it's freezing again. Holy smoly. Okay, let's pop this chat out. All right. Here we are, live chat. Boom, boom. Hi, everybody. How's it going? All right, let me just say hi. Hey, let me say hi to Seashell Aloha and mahalo for being here. Linda Bop. Becky, thank you for teaching me that. Seashell, Linda Bop, Sarah Leach. And let's get back. Steven, hey. Lori M, Tina Elliott, Corey C. I was going to make lunch beat today, but you know what happened. And Do we have, no, okay, so I've answered that question. All right. Thank you, Seashell. All right. Hey, the Rumble Bunny. That sounds saucy. So, I went shopping, and you won't believe how the prices. Do you remember I would buy Catelli pasta sauce because it was $1.40 a bottle? And it was like that. It wasn't on sale. It was their regular price. Should have seen what it was on Friday. It's gone up 92%. And this is one of the cheapest stores in Quebec. So, hey, Mary Fair. So what was I going to say? Okay, so I told you about the plane of pause. Did you change Rumble Bunny? The chicken started laying this past week. Did you change their feed? Because I just got an email or a text from somebody showing me a video where it's the feed that has been stopping the winter production. As soon as people let their chickens out to free range, unless you like live in the middle of, snowbound country like me, started supplementing. Good for you. Apparently, the egg shortage is because the feed is no good. It's not that it's no good. It's just not what they need to lay. Chickens need several things to lay well in the wintertime. Especially if you can't let them out to free range. All right. If they're like in a coop and they have no yard in the wintertime, right? They need oyster shell or ground. Okay. Eggshells. If you're going to give your chickens eggshells to supplement their calcium, do yourself a favor, toast them in the oven. Don't burn them or anything. Just toast them dry and then grind them up into pieces about a quarter of the size of your fingernail, baby fingernail. Because if you leave them any bigger, they'll recognize the eggshells. They'll start eating their own eggs. All right, just for the calcium. So they need oyster shell or well-washed, toasted, and ground eggshell. They need grit so that they can chew their food. Chickens don't have teeth. So if they're locked in for the winter, they need grit so that they can chew their food in their crop. They need oyster shell or eggshell to supplement the calcium because they can't get it out of the dirt from scratching. And they need light. They need a minimum of 12 hours of light a day. So what I recommend, yeah, I heard that. The feed might have been tampered with. Yeah. So what I recommend is start saving your kitchen scraps too, like crusts of bread and stuff. Throw them to your chickens. But if your coop is inside, like a closed coop for the winter, even if they have the floor to run on, they need grit. They need like pebbles to chew their food. They need calcium, oyster shell, eggshell. They need warmth. And you want a red light, not a heat lamp, because they can start fires unless your coop is really big. I used a 75-watt red floodlight. This discourages them from picking at each other's butts and killing each other for the protein in the blood. Okay? So they need a high protein ration. They need grit. They need calcium. They need warmth. And then you need a regular light bulb. You don't need a plant bulb or anything, but you need a regular light bulb that is on a timer that comes on at 5 o'clock in the morning and goes off at 7 o'clock at night. And the red light stays on so they stay warm. But it's the light cycle too that also helps them to lay. So there's a lot of things for egg production in the wintertime that you got to do, especially if the feed isn't doing it. Okay? Because I just saw a video of a woman who threw her feed out on the ground. She let her chickens out because she doesn't have snow like we do, and threw the feed on the ground, and they wouldn't touch it. They just went and scratched and for whatever they could find, but they wouldn't touch the feed. So, hey, Linda Willitson, Mama Cat, Tammy Wright. Hey, Doris, how's it going? Yeah, was it you who sent me that, Raf, or was it Angie? Yeah, how is your ankle, honey? How is your ankle that now that you've had almost a week to get over the worst part of it, eh? Use those eggs to make some Yorkshire pudding. Yeah, I never thought about that. That's 4 eggs, and people are going, my God, you might as well throw diamonds in your Yorkshire pudding. So I will not get laying hens again unless I have a coop that I can get into, collect eggs, and clean myself and keep like heated and lit in the wintertime. That's a lot of stuff to, and where would I put it? I would like to put it right in front of the garage. And Howie would just have to snow blow me a path. But the guy who plows our right now, Howie's race car sitting where I'd like my chicken coop to be. But the truth is, the guy who snow blows our it's the only place we can go. Because if he snow blows our snow plows our driveway, it's, makes mountains at any available corner. And if I put a chicken coop over there, over there, over there, or over there, my plow guy's going to go, now what? Now where am I going to put the snow? You know what I mean? I have a headache. We had to say goodbye to our 15-year-old kitty. Yes. Oh, Doris, I'm so sorry, honey. Your girls are laying great this winter. Well, like I said, there's a lot of things. It's not just letting them outside to run. They need proper nutrition, not just to make eggs, but to keep their bodies warm. They need, a good high protein, crude fat diet. Like what I've done, what I've done? I've bought scratch grain. Okay. Saved all my bacon drippings, bits of lard, fat, all that stuff. And I put toasted ground eggshells. I've got a video of this somewhere. Toasted ground eggshells, scratch grain, or even oatmeal if you want to put oatmeal or barley or whatever you got in your kitchen. Bread crust, grind that all up. But make a suet cake out of your drippings, feed, and toasted and crushed eggshells, and give that to your chickens. They'll go absolutely batshit crazy in the winter for stuff like that. Always have constant fresh water too. Can you make a coop on your porch? Absolutely not. I have a deck right there that's right next to my bedroom. I have the veranda right here where we stack our wood. We also stack it on the deck. And then I have my indoor porch. None of those is a good, acceptable place to raise something that puts out a high content of ammonia. Now, if I just had one, 2 chickens or 3 chickens, I might be able to do something like that. But we'll see. Hey, Roxanne Tracy. How are you, darling? I go back to the orthopedic doctor next month. Okay, well, don't overdo it, okay? Don't overdo it. I do my suet cakes for those small bird cage feeders to feed the chickadees and woodpeckers. There you go. But you could do that for chickens too. So our thing right now is we have ordered. Okay, you know how I just got my side of beef last month? Hey, Mary Lindsay, Roxanne Tracy, it's all good. We're here. We're here. And we just got here. We'd only been here 15 minutes. Hey, Willow's Garden, how are you, darling? No worries, Mary Lindsay, none at all. So I ordered a side of beef last year, and I was paying, and this is local beef. When I say local, I mean within 100 miles of where I live. And this fellow is a fellow that works with Howie, and his prices are very reasonable. And I was allowed to prepay per, in monthly installments until it was time. He said, don't give me the last payment because I don't know exactly how much it's going to be. And the last payment wasn't $200. I think it was $105 or something. It was like $805 or something, or for 180 pounds of beef. Hey, Robin Rose. With Sally. Thank you, Seashell, for greeting everybody while I'm too wrapped up in talking. Been taking care of my brother. He had to have eye surgery. Oh, I'm really sorry to hear that. I hope everything came out okay. So we started paying for the the beef early in the spring because we didn't know. Well, I've already ordered a pig and a side of beef for late fall this coming year. And this is from the same farmer. So I'm going to get 150 pounds of pork, and I'm going to get roughly 200 pounds of beef. 140 to 160 pounds of pork, 180 to 220 pounds of beef. So I've already ordered those, right? Hey, Pam. Hey, Freaky Geek. But I've ordered them, and so I'm going to start paying monthly on my beef and pork for the end of like late fall this coming year. So we can, if we really wanted to, if we had to, we could raise and butcher our own pigs. We've done it, right? But I would rather, give our aging bodies a break and buy local, right? Hey, Andrew, Tina Elliott, hi. So here's my thing, though, is I keep poking Howie, right? We don't raise anything that we have to overwinter because it's really difficult and it's a lot of extra work, okay? So I'm prodding Howie into modifying the greenhouse because it used to be a chicken coop, and I'm only want to put 3 plants in this year, big plants in. So I'm thinking of getting him or doing it myself and building a run inside where there's no rain coming in or anything like that. There's the actual roof for like 6 to 10 chickens and 2 turkeys. The 2 turkeys I wouldn't like to raise in there with the chickens, but I don't know where else I would put them right now. Hey, Jackie Bits, how's it going? Good. I'm glad your brother's doing well. So I would like to raise a few meat birds this year because I just paid $53 for 18 pounds of chicken and pork chops. You do the math. Chicken and pork chops. 15 pounds divided by 53. It's $2.80 a pound. $2.80 a pound. Now, I don't buy chicken legs normally unless they're like $1. I'll go up as far as $1.99 a pound, but this was bloody expensive. And that was 30% off. That was after the 30% was deducted. Oh, making biscottis. Hey, Angela. How's it going, sweetheart? Just put a small divider between the chickens and turkeys. I may have to forego. Howie, if you had a choice, like say we had to choose between 10 chickens and 2 turkeys, between the 2 of them, which would you rather raise? 2 turkeys or 10 chickens? Because unless we could do some kind of coon weasel safe tractor for 2 turkeys out in the yard somewhere. You really don't know. You really need to think about that, though. Cindy, hey, great idea buying in bulk. I buy smaller amounts and divide vacuum seal bags. Well, yeah, that's exactly it. right? Maybe I'll just, but the thing is the reason I say 2 turkeys is because I never really want to buy just one turkey poult because they are really fussy to get started. And you don't want to put them all by themselves unless I get the turkey or the meat bird chicks and the turkey poult at the same time. Then they'll grow up together. And I don't think would be an issue. But you got to be careful with turkeys and chickens. Turkeys can get sick off of chicken poop, right? They can get blackhead. So you got to be really careful. We give more meat than 2 turkeys. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Peach cobbler. We're having fried pork chops. We haven't had, well, how long's it been since we had pork? A couple of months? Yeah, it's been, well, other than bacon and ham, you know. You do know folks who keep them together. Well, there it is. Hi, Sheila Kraken. Is it County Cork that you're in? How you doing, sweetheart? Your seeds are on the way, as far as I know. I've done it. So maybe I'll go 6 chickens and 1 turkey. The thing is what's the point of raising a turkey? It's not like we have big family dinners anymore. You know what I mean? Got pozole in the crock pot. Did I say it right? What's pozole? Dublin. Ham, green beans, scallop potatoes for dinner here today. Made up an apple pie. Ooh, I think I'm going to do that. Swedish meatballs with mushroom sauce for our dinner. Mushroom soup in a can of mushrooms. That's my mushroom sauce. I have made deluxe homemade Swedish meatballs with like my own homemade pork sauce, mushroom sauce. And it's good, but you know, I got mushroom soup. So stuffed chicken breast and potatoes with gravy. We're having pork chops. And my last bag of oven roasted wedgie fries and some green beans. Potato bacon soup, ham sandwich. Potato bacon soup. That sounds like a pierogi in a soup form. Throw some noodles in that and you got liquid pierogies. I should try that. Y'all making me hungry. Me too. Sloppy Joe's. Chicken legs and broccoli. We had chicken and rice last night because we haven't had chicken legs in a long time. And like as soon as I got those groceries home, I divided everything up, put things in the freezer and stuff. And I wanted some chicken and some pork because we don't have any other than whole chickens. And everybody gets just a little bit tired of 1 chicken, 4 meals, except I'm doing it tomorrow with a twist. You're going to see 1 chicken, 2 meals, and a bunch of lunch meat. And we'll see how that figures out. Chili! Good time of year for chili. But I'm also going to be canning some ground beef and some stew meat just because I like having, especially when I'm making spaghetti. Like when I make spaghetti right now, I take a package of ground beef out of the freezer and then I put it in my crock pot on warm to to defrost it. And then I turn it on high and I cook it up and then I throw all my stuff in. Well, I like having canned ground beef for the simple reason is it's almost instant. The only thing that needs to be cooked is the vegetables you put in the sauce. It's good for pizza toppings. It's good for tacos. It's good for sloppy joes. You know what I mean? It's almost instant. I just bought a can of hominy to try. Never had it before. Isn't that just soaked white corn? Chicken breast, sweet potatoes, green beans, beef tips, and mushroom, rice, baked potatoes. Wow, that's a lot of meat. I scored 6 pounds of bison meat. Whoa, from the food bank. You got to be careful, Rosie, when you say that. Because I'm not sure if it was in Ottawa. You can't quote me, but it was something like that. One of the Canadian food banks, Now they would get if a moose, see here in Quebec, we're not allowed to, if we hit a deer, we're not allowed to take it. We're not allowed to take it. We got to leave it, right? Otherwise, because they think people will hunt with their fucking cars. Like we can afford the insurance on that, pardon my mouth. So in Ontario, you just gotta call somebody and they tag it and you take it, but not here in Quebec, right? So what happened was is they were tagging them and taking them to a butcher who was giving his free time to butcher up these deer and moose or whatever get hit by a car, like butcher them up real quick, fresh, and donating the meat to the food bank, and not food banks, but to homeless shelters and soup kitchens. And somebody found out they were eating deer and complained. And now they can no longer provide the shelters with free meat. So be careful when you say stuff like that, Rosie Slade. But wow, 6 pounds of bison meat. You know what that is it ground? You know what that goes for here? I think it's like $25 a pound or something, or $15 a pound or something. Buying my husband a crossbow for his birthday, a real one. Daddy, I didn't get a crossbow for Christmas this year. I didn't get a crossbow for Christmas this year. Or last year. I did not get a crossbow for Christmas this year. I came right out and said it. I didn't get a garbage can. That's true. I got lights, which I needed beside my chair and some other stuff. So Safeway sell $12 a pound. Well, see, we have a bison farm here, eh? Yeah, the bison ground meat is from a farm. That's true, right? That's true. I never thought about that. But be careful, right? Bison meat's wonderful. It tastes like beef used to. I would like a crossbow too. The kind that you just stick your toe in and go to pull it, because I'm not in great shape. But I'd like to take up bow hunting, crossbow hunting, because I don't know if you can, I don't know. But next time a bear comes knocking, I'll put one in its ass. I swear it. I'm just kidding. Aldi's has bison for $5.99 a pound. Well, the thing about, bison, it's all one of those things where, bison meat, natural, all this stuff. The bison farm that we've gotten our beef, they don't feed them like they feed cows. Because bison meat that you buy in the grocery store is almost going to taste like burger. Why? Or beef, because it's raised the same way. You got to, these things have to be fully hay fed. They've got to be pasture raised and all that stuff. What's silent? Yeah, Clarican, you're telling me, you're preaching to the choir there, baby. That's exactly why I want one. That's exactly why I want one. But it's snowing again. Great protection if you run out of ammo. Hey, Candy, absolutely. I know, I love bison. I do, really do. Hang on. Aldi had ground lamb for $5.99 a pound this week. We ate a pound yesterday. It was really good. Ground lamb is good. You ever try lamb kofta? It's really good. It's kind of like souvlaki. I have a video on our half-acre homestead, because we ate lamb kofta a lot when we were in Egypt, and it's delicious. It's like seasoned ground lamb charcoal broil on a stick. It's really good. So I made a large batch of chili yesterday, and I split into 4 meals and froze it. Well, I'm going to be canning ground beef this week. I'm going to be making a whack of meatloaves. I'm going to do meatloaves in the lasagna pan, because I found when I run out of lunch meat, I just take a frozen cooked meatloaf out of the freezer and slice it. It even fits right on the bread. Hope it stops soon. Just finished shoveling the driveway twice today. I thought you got your snowblower fixed. I thought you got your snowblower fixed, Ange. Any chance of a card? Oh, you know what? I never even thought. I normally... Come here, you. No, that's not the one I want. I normally don't do this on a Sunday. I usually do it Thursday, but I didn't do Thursday night. So let's take out Gaia cards. The Soul's Journeys cards. I'm feeling in the mood for the Universe Has Your Back card. And let's do the Animal Oracle cards. And let's do a smudging. Oh, and that meatloaf I made in the little mini pans, with the beef we got from the farmer is not like ground beef you buy in the grocery store. It's not pumped full of water and fat. It's solid. Even when it says lean, it's solid. I got to remember to tell him, though, that I like my ground meat lean, but not necessarily my steaks and roasts. All right. Let's cleanse with some sage. Don't set myself on fire here. Smoke the sacred white sage. Please cleanse my intentions of negativity, of ego. May I be honest. Lift our prayers and our hopes and our dreams to the Creator up on your smoke. Hey. Alrighty. Hey, J.M. Franklin. Angie back. Tracy Morrison. I have my secret lamb loin in the back of the freezer. Husband doesn't look that far back. Well, we're not leg of lamb people. I got turned off lamb once because somebody fried lamb chops like you would fry pork chops, and then left them to go cold in the pan, and it was just disgusting. Are you going to get the throwaway fat to render into the lard from the cow and pig? Well, they didn't give me the suet from the cow or the heart. I asked for the heart and the liver and the suet, and I got liver and a tongue, which I'm going to cook. I'm going to try it. Or I might just put it in the lunch meat. So your cat gags like that. Do you ever see some of those videos of people putting letting their dog lick a lemon, or their cat, showing them something, the cat goes, oh my goodness, that's so funny. Tongue is really good meat, makes wonderful tacos. Well, here's what I'm going to do. Is I'm going to make meatloafs this week. I'm going to make lunch meat this week, and I'm going to can ground beef and stew meat this week. So I don't know if you're going to get the videos for them this week, but you can bet your bottom dollar there'll be at least one tomorrow. I'll be doing one at least tomorrow, so you'll get it Tuesday. So, I tell them you want the fat. Can't hurt to say so. I did. I wanted the beef, like when I ordered the beef, I wanted the suet, the liver, and the heart. That's all I wanted out of the organ meat and stuff. Now, this butcher doesn't, well, he does ham for more, obviously, because it takes longer, and it takes longer and to cure. And so it's more expensive. So I'm not going to get a ham, but I am going to get, I don't think he does sausages either. So I think I'm going to get just bacon, pork chops, and roasts, and ground pork. Because next year, when I can my ground meat, it'll be pork beef mixed, and I'll at least know where it's coming from. I can't stand the fact. Hi, Angel. Barbara M. I can't stand the fact that they sell you. It's bad enough. Like, I don't like buying ground meat in the store. I don't like buying meat in the store. I've raised my own for too long. But I have to shut that part of my brain off that goes, these were raised, in feedlots, right? They dock the pigs' tails because they keep them too crowded and they chew each other's tails off in frustration if they don't cut their tails off and la 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 la. All this stuff I've learned, I have to go, I can't look at that right now, or we'll never eat meat again. So I may be confusing tongue with other meat. Do you peel the tongue after cooking? Yes, that's what I heard. I heard you boil it in a bit of salt water and peel it off and slice it up. But I'm going to boil it in salt water, peel it off, and then throw it in with the lunch meat that I'm concocting. Now we'll never know we ate tongue. Hi, Oma. How are you, darling? So, yeah, I got things going on this week. I actually have to make myself a list. You know why? Because if I don't make myself a list, I will medicate and then sit down to play Cookie Jam on Facebook and forget that I was supposed to work. So, we want to make lunch meat. Okay. And meatloaf. It's one of the joys of having fully cooked frozen meatloaf in your freezer is when you run out of lunch meat, you can just pull one out and slice it up and put the rest in the crock pot for supper. Yes, boil or simmer and peel and slice. Then it's wonderful to pan fry and crisp it up a bit. I've got company knocking on my door. Y'all have a blessed evening and night. Take care, Willow. Take care. God bless. So, yeah, that's kind of, this is my week because I forgot to buy lunch meat. And somebody said to me, thank you, Sheila. Absolutely, darling. Absolutely. Somebody said to me, the animal oracle cards. Animal oracle cards. I am dyslexic slightly. Sheila. Ooh, Sheila Clarican. Sheila Clarican. Whoa, holy crap. Okay, hang on. Where'd you go? Sheila, I don't know what this is in regarding, but you got the lion, which says you have a higher calling. It says on the card, you have within you all the courage you need. Let go of the past and reclaim your majesty. I'm hearing history. I'm feeling history. Reclaim your majesty. You will find success and contentment with those by your side. Make noble choices for your life and your tribe. What I'm hearing is there's something from your history that you think needs fiercely protecting. And you really need, it's kind of like, give me a second. There's something in your heritage that needs to be brought to the forefront because you didn't realize it was being lost. Does that make any sense? Because you have a higher calling to preserve something in your heritage. And because we all seem to be becoming globally amalgamated. So I don't know if that makes absolutely any sense at all, Sheila. But you have a higher calling to preserve your heritage. Listen to that. Hey, Joe Mama! How's it going? Jim Ward, hi. Philadelphia Eagles. I don't do sports. I'm sorry. If I did sports, it would be hockey. We don't do sports here. Why? Because Howie's an Ottawa Senators fan, and I'm a Toronto Maple Leafs fan, and it would just cause too many arguments that not necessarily would be good-natured. So... relates to a recent conversation. Thank you. Okay, good. Oh, good, Joe. I'm glad to hear it. I bought some Mr. Noodles. I was actually thinking of you, thinking, wow, when I was sick in November, I said to Howie, can you just bring me home some Mr. Noodles? Because I knew it was the easiest thing for him to make to give me. Because I couldn't feed myself all day for like the first 3 days. Well, I don't look at car racing as a sport. It is if you're a spectator. I look at racing as a lifestyle that I have not quite fully adopted yet. How are you feeling today, Joe? Oh, and somebody brought up a really interesting point about 4Jars lids. Let's pay the bills. Not that they pay me for this, but 4Jars lids. Okay. I've only ever had 2 failures. And that is because I made an error. I either opened the canner too early and they siphoned, or I accidentally put 2 lids on one and it didn't seal, or something along those lines. Now, somebody else has said, well, I got to put this without it being sounding. I have only had 2 failures with 4Jars, and I know many people like Joe Mama and other people who have had no failures whatsoever. Now, I do not say this, and I'm going to be very, very clear about this. Make sure you got the Canadian one in there. Yes, you do. There is two links there. One's for Canada, one's for the US. Use the coupon code half acre for 10% off. Okay. For 10% off. Honey, you didn't put the coupon code in there. It's half acre, all one word in capital letters for 10% off. Now, I have to say, okay, I want to clarify something. I do not hide the fact that I promote 4Jars. I do not hide the fact that whenever I need one, I just email them and they say, sure, and they send me some lids. I have never hidden the fact. As a matter of fact, I've come right out and said it. You get 10% off and with the coupon code, and I get 10% of that sale. Never denied it. But never, ever, ever would I promote a product for financial gain only. Okay? I promote this product because they're the best damn lids I've ever used. And I won't use anything else. To the point that I sold over a dozen boxes of lids back in May because they were Bernardin. And I sold them for 50 cents a box because I won't use them. Anytime I get jars that come with lids, those lids go into a box all their own, and I use them for when I'm making vinegar or doing dry, putting dry goods on the shelf. The only thing I can with is 4Jars. Okay? Ow! I just pinched my finger, putting it down with a punk. So I'm not trying to piss anybody off. I just want to make that very, very clear. Thank you, Mindy. Hi, Mindy and J.M. Franklin. So never mistake. It's like you've seen me do product reviews before. Remember the one dehydrator that I got sent, and it was brittle plastic, and the stuff was the fan was in the bottom, and all this stuff. And I said to folks, here's the coupon code, but I'm going to tell you, I won't even give this one away. It's going in the garbage because it's absolute crap. You've seen me do product reviews. I don't lie about stuff like that because where we spend our dollar is way too important, okay, than how we make it. You can make money every day. It's how you spend it that makes it go farther. Right? So I won't lie about stuff like that. Like those Chinese strainer things, the spoons that I got. I actually really like those. But the mesh is so fine that I only use it for like if I'm straining broth and stuff. It's really, really good though. Joy Marie. Okay, Joy. I love that name. It's very nice. So yeah, I just wanted to clarify that. I know this isn't our half-acre homestead, but the truth is, and I'm weaning myself off of Facebook. I'm so sick and tired of Facebook not, they say, oh no, they don't censor you. Yeah, I haven't been in Facebook jail in a long time. Do you know why? They don't bother putting me in Facebook jail anymore. They slow my feed down to 5%. So that especially like if I put, conversations between a husband and wife in Canada, and it was something humorous, it would be like shot in a minute, right? Put anything political out, 5 views. And it's not because people aren't viewing them, it's because they're not being seen. So yeah, it's all coming out on now the problem is Facebook has gotten us so used to this funneled information mindset that we accept it. Now, don't tell me you don't accept it. Okay? We accept it because we've been doing Facebook now for 20 years. And they change stuff. And we just keep following because that's where all our friends are. That's where all our family is. I got news for you, folks. Not all my friends are on Facebook. Not all my family's on Facebook. They steer clear of it with a barge pole. Why you have to defend yourself to anyone? Honey, it's okay. It was just a conversation that came up, and I wanted to let people know that, somebody used the word kickbacks. And I've never denied that they send me my lids for free. And I've never denied that I get paid whenever someone buys using my coupon code. I don't get paid much. But you know what? Take care of the nickels and dimes and the dollars will look after themselves, right? I forgot to tell you, I'm a granny again. I got my third grandson. Oh, Sheila. Oh, I haven't even seen mine yet. Well, I've seen him. He's the first thing that I see when I wake up in the morning and the last thing I see when I go to bed at night because he's on my home screen and my lock screen. And we couldn't go down this weekend, but we are going down on the 10th. And by God, if there's a way I can get a picture of me with my grandchild without you guys seeing the grandchild, then it's going to get done. You know what I mean? Gracie, what do you want to come here? Oh, Daddy went in the bathroom. It's the only reason I'm getting the time of day. Oh, he's out of the bathroom. She's gone. Are you coming? Look at her peeking in under the door. No, she's not going to come and get a treat. Forget it. Now watch her come because I said the word treat. So that's awesome. Hey, Kim. Congratulations, Sheila. I've never been so happy getting to change a nappy. That should be a t-shirt. I'm never so happy when unless I'm changing a nappy. Hey, I stopped Facebook in 2019. Well, the thing is I have a lot of my contacts, but the thing is I've had my Facebook account has had to be redone over and over and over again. Now, if you come on to Gab and people go, I don't want anything to do with Gab. It feels China, Russia, blah, blah, blah. What do you think Facebook is? Facebook is, I'm going to say this only one more time. Mark Zuckerberg was interviewed by Joe Rogan. And I watched the interview. And Joe Rogan's so laid back, he lays traps and people don't even see them. Right? So if you're not an honest person, don't talk to Joe Rogan. I would love to talk to Joe Rogan. I've loved him since Fear Factor. Anyway, he came right out and said, so the FBI said, there's a lot of misinformation coming down the pipe about this, this, and this. You may want to, do something about that. And he go, oh yeah, absolutely. Sure. When the FBI tells a private company how to do their business, then it's no longer a private company. It's government controlled. Federal Bureau of Investigation. You know what I mean? So you don't see me you see me put stuff up on Facebook, but there's a reason I'm not on Instagram. Mark Zuckerberg owns Instagram. Okay. There's a reason I'm not on TikTok, because TikTok got offended by something I did or said and blocked me out of my own channel. And that channel is still up, still running. People think I'm still on TikTok. I just haven't uploaded anything. No, it's because they won't even let me take my videos back. They have locked me out of my own account. You want to say YouTube? YouTube. There are things I am not allowed to talk about. There was a point there last year where if I even mentioned the word COVID or vaccine, they would start disrupting my live stream. This censorship is alive and well. Mama Dukes didn't get a notification. Well, Tanya, let me tell you about that. It's because, listen, you want to get real-time notification of live streams, go on Gab. I didn't put it up today because nobody seems to be over on Gab. But go over to Gab and join, because every time I do a live stream from now on, I will put the link on Gab, and I will put the link. On Gab, and if I'm going to do a upload, it comes out at midnight. As soon as I wake up and get on my computer, I'll put it on Gab, because I'm weaning myself away. No, I'm weaning you away from me on Facebook. Do you understand? Right? Because Facebook is just crap. And everyone goes, and this is the way we've been. Yeah, YouTube has been unsubscribing people. Hey, Lola. How are you, darling? And here's the thing, right? We've gotten so used to having everything censored for us, being told how to think, that when you go on Gab, you're going to be really upset. You're going to see stuff that just makes you you're going to hear stuff that goes, that's just insane, or that's racist, or that's this, or that's religious. Why? Because it's censorship free. You got to learn to not have somebody else censor out the undesirable content. The undesirable content gets just as much right to be heard as the desirable content. You just got to figure out what's desirable for you and scroll past what isn't. This is what Facebook has done. Everybody likes Facebook because it's been censored for you. They're thinking for you. Do you understand? Lola. Hey, Teresa. How are you, darling? Exactly. Critical thinking, right? So we have been, you know how I've spoken in the past about how we have been trained for the last 200 years to value money and purchasing power over self-sufficiency. Artificial food over the real thing. Chemicals, medications, and supplements over good nutrition. Prettier apples over apples with more dense nutrition because they haven't been hybridized. Do you understand? These are things we have been. I should be on Rumble with this, and I may download this and take pieces of it and put it back together on Rumble. But we have been trained into making money the only way to live. Okay? Money, you can't eat money. And pretty soon, it's going to be digital anyway. And what happens when all currency and identifications become digital? They are so easy to switch off in a heartbeat. Just saying. So, yes, that dehydrator is whisper quiet. Why? Did you get one, Teresa? It's awesome. It hasn't left my island. I found 2 oranges that I want to slice up and dehydrate just because barter existed before money. And you know, you can't tax barter, and that's why they're trying to shut it down. They shut down roadside stands. They're using the pandemic to make more regulations surrounding food. I've dined bread and peppers so far. Oh, you've dried bread and peppers so far. Everybody late today has been busy. Well, I mean, it's Sunday, right? So all I'm saying, folks, is Facebook, sites like Facebook and stuff. Like everyone says, oh, Twitter's a cesspool. You know why? Because everybody gets to say pretty much what they want. I mean, yeah, I've called my prime minister a moron a couple of times on Twitter, and all Twitter has said is come back and said, we've detected some, you know, what do they call it? Something along the lines of strong language. You sure you want to tweet that? Hell yes, I want to tweet that. Right? Twitter's a cesspool. Well, that's because it's full of politicians and garbage. But the truth is, you got to do your own critical thinking about what's to listen to and what's not. I just scroll right past Turdo because sound of his voice just makes me want to punch a puppy, you know? No, not really, but you know how that's how it is, right? So people go, I don't want anything to do with Gab, China, Russia, blah, 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 blah. I'm sorry. If they're going to give me censorship free, now I don't have, Rumble doesn't have like a Facebook page, right? If they did, I'd move it there too. Okay? But I have been on Gab for quite some time, and I haven't been utilizing it because nobody seems to go there. Wean yourself off of seeing me on Facebook. Okay? I will still continue to put videos out there. All right? But Facebook's not your friend. Okay? I have a Twitter account, but only because I just throw videos out there, right? I don't know. For me, it's casting a net, right? I count on my views more so from my die-hard core, 4,000 subscribers, right? I count on like 2,500 to 4,000 subscribers. I count on that from direct views from people who get notified, which they obviously don't. So I have to cast a net. I have to throw it out on Facebook. I have to throw it out on Twitter because YouTube's not doing their job. And even when people ask to be notified, they're not being notified, right? So, yeah, right? It's time, okay? Facebook's, I keep it for my friends and family. Don't, you're not doing them or yourself any favors. Okay? Mark Zuckerberg went from being a really brilliant person to a soulless greed machine, as far as I'm concerned. But that's just my opinion. Don't sue me, Mark Zuckerberg. You don't need my money. By the way, Bev, Joe, is it Joe Marie? Joy. Oh, by the way, Bev, I'm in the process of having weight loss surgery due to all the darn steroids. I have gained a whole bunch. Be really careful with the weight loss surgery you choose. The weight loss surgery I had was successful in the fact that I lost a whole bunch of weight, and then my body just started gaining again. So when you make weight loss surgery is not an answer, it's a tool. You have to change your relationship with food. Okay? Look at Sherry Harris Holcamp from Two Family Homestead. Okay? Or Nana's Menagerie. She had the sleeve I believe. And then she went and she lost a bunch of weight, and then she went back for an adjustment, and she ended up getting the Roux-en-Y gastric bypass. Now, I had the Roux-en-Y gastric bypass, which turned my stomach into the size of my thumb. And that's how I lost weight. But the stomach then stretches again. And you have to be really careful, because there can be, if you're not careful, you can give yourself, what are the things that people are always getting in their brain? It's where a piece of the wall weakens and a bubble pushes out. So weight loss, I understand the steroids issue, because I had that problem too. It's one of the reasons why I have hair, facial hair. But hey, Katrina, babe. Aneurysm. Thank you, Tina Elliott. It can cause stomach aneurysms and stuff, because people look at it as an answer instead of looking at it as a tool. You can walk all you want. You can exercise all you want. But if you don't change the fuel going into your body, what you're doing to lose the weight isn't going to change either, right? So yes, aneurysm. That's what I was trying to think of. So, I mean, it's just be careful, because I was in a 12-step recovery program, and I used my 12 steps, and I had 2 years going up to surgery to change my relationship with food. And I did. But I tell you something, even with recovery and knowing, going in wide open, and knowing that I'd had my psychological evaluation and all of these things, I still got hit with the emotional deprivation of losing my best friend, which was food at the time, right? It's like taking vitamins and eating protein powder added to food. Exactly, right? The food, this is why we encourage more and more people to raise chickens if you can, right? Like I have a cousin in Toronto, and she said, well, we're allowed to have up to 3 chickens. I said, no, you don't. You can have 6 or more. Just don't get a rooster. Like, because she has a long backyard. We're going back into the mindset where the government would tell us at the beginning of World War I, raise some chickens in your backyard. They'll eat kitchen scraps, and you'll have a chicken in your pot on Sunday, and you'll get eggs. They lied a whole bunch of stuff, because they're 2 different breeds, right? But, I mean, you can raise laying hens throughout the summer and then butcher them for soup in the fall, but you're not going to get a lot of credible meat, right? It was horrible that water didn't go down. Wow. To be frank, the gas is pretty brutal. No, yeah, of course, right? So, do chickens bring mice? No, not that I'm aware of. If you don't store your feed properly, you'll get squirrels and rats and mice and all kinds of shit in the feed. I always stored my feed in bins and in garbage pails. But I have mice and I don't have chickens, so $6 a dozen. I'm going to get some this summer. Well, the thing is if you want them to be laying, you've got to buy them. If you want to raise laying hens just for the summer, then you buy them in April and you buy them at 19 weeks old. Okay, they're almost 5 months old. That's another reason why they don't make good meat. They're already well past their tenderness age by 19 weeks. You get them in like March, April at 19 weeks. And you get them started on their light system until the days are long again. They'll be laying well into the fall. Okay? Then you butcher them for soup. Right? Chickens will eat the mice, yes. Metal garbage can, there you go. I use Rubbermaid bins, and they did pretty good, but squirrels can get into those. Their teeth are like, I found this from Noreen of Noreen's Kitchen. Squirrels' teeth never stop growing. That's why they constantly chew. Oh, I had a squirrel on my porch. Did I tell ya? I, I had a red squirrel, and I'm really grateful to see it because I thought the black squirrels moving into the neighborhood would kill all my red squirrels. An embolism. No, it's an aneurysm I'm thinking of. But who had an embolism? What am I thinking here? What am I missing? I missed something there. Are starting to sell them this week. Really? A rat snake in his chicken coop. Yeah, just don't put it in when the babies are little because they'll eat the babies. But yeah, you never kill a black snake because they're something that eats the mice. You know, garter snakes in the garden? Absolutely. Right? Rat snakes love eggs. So you got to be careful. Exactly. Embolism turns from a blood clot to a bubble. Okay. Well, anyway, I got up yesterday or Friday or whatever it was, and our new front door on the porch, if you don't push it hard enough, it'll bounce back, right? And Howie, seems to forget that you got to actually give it a chunk when you close it. So I went out, I think it was Friday morning, and the wind must have closed it or something, because Howie has forgotten to put the garbage out. So the garbage in our porch is, there's a couple of bags of garbage. It doesn't stink. It's cold out there. It's no big deal. But Gracie's standing at the door going, oh, ah, and I'm going, what? And then all of a sudden I hear it. It's like, is there a squirrel on my porch? And Gracie's going, yes. So I look. And I see it, and it sees me, and I got to get Gracie away from the door, and it jumps down behind the freezer. So what I did is I got out in the porch, and I shut the kitchen door, and then I opened the other door, and I grabbed my broom, and I went down behind the freezer, and it came out and went, okay, go. I stepped aside, and it just right out the door, right? Check out a YouTube video on sex with chickens. It has to do with the opening the wings and how many feathers and how they look. Yes, Donna Rishi, that does. But usually that's only works really well on meat birds. There's sexing, yard birds is not as easy as it sounds. Tracy. Well, listen, guys. It's been an hour. And it's 20 after 5, and I have not made supper yet. So I'm going to pull a card for the group from The Universe Has Your Back. And, oops, sorry, I'm banging stuff. If I buy chicks, I pay extra to get all females. Yes, you do. And you want all females. Do you know why? You don't want the roosters fighting when they get to, when they get a little bit bigger. And B, hens have more breast meat. Roosters are only good for frying, and unless you turn them into a capon, which means you actually disrupt the male sexual organs, so that they are neutered. You neuter the roosters to make them capons. I almost forgot I was going to do a card for you guys. So, this elastic broke. There we go. The universe didn't want to make you choke. I can't help myself sometimes. Honey, that's okay. Laughter's the singing of the angels. Didn't you know? That's all right. Now, I'm going to pull a card from The Universe Has Your Back for the group today. Whoa, they're falling out in chunks. My hands don't work. Take care, Mary Jo. I didn't even see you there, Mosley. Hi, darling. It's not pleasant. They open the vent because male roosters, their sex is inside their vent. Okay. If you don't know a lot about chickens, or if you don't know much about chickens, they don't have separate organs for peeing and pooing. Everything comes out the same hole, including the eggs, and roosters are no different. That's why they have to tread the hen. They have to get on the back because they have to connect. And there's a little thing in there, in their vent. And apparently, now I heard this from an old farmer a long time ago. I've never done it because I was horrified. But he said, apparently you just take the males and you open their vent and you go with a knife. Like inside, you just go, you kind of scramble it with a sharp instrument. And then that desexes them. Thinking of that, it's like watching our Australians, take the baby sheep's, the lamb's nuts off. It's just horrifying to watch. So, hey, Muriel Banks from Australia. Yes, correct me if I'm wrong, Muriel. The old way to neuter lambs was they would just cut the nutsack, grab the testicles with their teeth and yank them out, and away they went. That's the way they used to do it. It is barbaric, but most things about, livestock and dispatching and putting them in your freezer is not pleasant. It's not pleasant. We have just been taught to forget about where our food comes from. It grows in styrofoam trays in the grocery store. No, it doesn't. These things live and breathe and eat and breed. And then, they come to our table. That's why when we first started this homestead, we were very, very careful about our relationship with our animals, right? They got love, respect, and dignity. And the occasional rooster that turned my leg black and blue or put its beak through the webbing of my hand, they died. And not necessarily kindly. But I'd say thank you for your service, but that's not what you're doing. So, if you're thinking it's all going to be cutesy-wootsy stuff, it's a lot of responsibility, but it's also a way to teach your family and people around you by leading by example. That we have to reestablish the relationship with our food. Do you understand? You know what, Linda Bob? I'm going to say this, and you guys are going to hear that. If you go back in my older videos, you're going to know this. Okay? I have always loved animals. It's the kind of love that people are confused about. You don't love animals like pets. Chickens are not pets. Okay, ducks could be pets. I'd love a pet duck. But, if you're raising animals for food, you never forget where that food is coming from. And you don't harden yourself. You don't treat them with neglect, or you don't neglect them mentally or emotionally because you're going to eat them and you want to distance yourself. Absolutely not. You will make sure that animal has the absolute best life of love and respect and nutrition as you can give it, and attention that you can give it, so that when it comes time to sacrifice to dispatch that animal for your freezer, you will have a mutual respect. Maybe not mutual on the chicken's part. But what I'm saying is you can love pets. All right? But loving farm animals comes with a different set of thought process. Do you understand? Took our 8-year-old to a hog butchering so that they understand that it does not come in packets. Exactly. Right? So it's all about, there we go. Here's the card for the day. We have all been taught. We have been funneled over the last 200 years. There's kids out there that wouldn't eat a carrot because they saw someone pull it from the ground. They had no idea it grew in the dirt. Folks, we have to become one with the cycle of life. I'm not just talking about the circle of life, having babies and moving on and perpetuating. I'm talking about the cycle of life with the plants and the food and the soil and the air and the animals. Because we are no better. We just happen to have free will and they don't. So that makes them our responsibility. And when we neglect our responsibility to the plants and the animals and the soil and the air and the water, then we are going to die right along with it. Do you understand? We are all a part of the same biosystem. So, yes, and seasonal eating. People go, oh my God, root mash again? Guess what? I tried to eat a Caesar salad. I was in agony. I can eat it all summer long. Doesn't bother me. I eat seasonally because that's what my body expects. Anyway, today's card from the Universe Has Your Back is, instead of praying for an outcome, pray for the highest good of all. Right? You can pray for a raise, but a raise is going to do you no good if the cost of food has gone up 100% more than what you got in your raise. Right? What you would pray for is how to make your money stretch. Ideas on how to make your money stretch. Does that make sense? So instead of, praying for what you want, pray for the will of the Creator and ask him that if the answer is no for what you want, he'll give you what you need. Because you can't always get what you want, but you can't get what you need. And that's because of our Creator, right? But some people are just too dumb to even see what's right in front of their nose. And I'm sorry. It's not. We've become a society that is purchasing everything. Yes, I purchase everything, except, my garden stuff and that. But we've become a society where we have been trained to use money to purchase everything we need in life. And then when the prices go up or our purchasing power drops, we have panic attacks. Why? Because we haven't been taught how to look after ourselves. We have put in our lives in the hands of pharmaceutical companies and government and government institutions. All right? We've allowed, when was the last time the president of the United States or the prime minister of your country asked you if it was okay to outlaw gas-burning vehicles? Because let me tell you something, folks. I did a little digging this morning. And Canada, the second largest country in the world, is responsible for less than 2% of the emissions in the world. You know what that means? That means if Canada was wiped clean of all living life, scraped down to the dirt, and let plants grow again, we would only change the world percentage of greenhouse gases and emissions by 2%. It's a drop in the bucket. Okay? Same with the United States. Okay? The thing is we don't need to switch to electric cars. Do you have any idea the mining process that goes on to mine lithium? Now, and the lithium, 50% of it comes from China. And they're trying to figure, and we're running out of lithium for these batteries. That's just the lithium. And now China is trying to make hybrid mining vehicles, which will swallow up all the available lithium that we need to make for cars. So the prices are going to go up. And if a battery catches on fire, if your car catches on fire, there is no environmentally safe way to capture that pollutant. And it's far, far worse than anything my Dodge Ram 1500 4x4 with a 5.7 liter Hemi is going to do. You can't legislate common sense. Okay? Wind is killing animals. Wind turbines. Everybody get wind turbines, the big wind turbines on you see. Our grid was never designed to handle the load of a wind turbine. It's a whole different system. So that's why that doesn't work. And if you're going to do it out in the water, like they do in in the Shetland Isles and stuff, right? Before you can put everybody in electric cars, everybody needs to be educated about exactly, they're 200 grand. I ain't paying for a vehicle that's worth more than my house. Period. Full stop. Right? They keep those electric cars. I don't want anything to do with them. Well, they're trying to put everybody in Canada in electric cars by 2030, and they're going to fail miserably. Because here's the thing. When did the government, I don't care. I don't care if I'm going to get dinged for this. When was the last time the government actually asked you what you wanted? They work for us. When was the last time, and if you listen to Trudeau, he says, well, the people spoke when they voted me back in as prime minister. You got 32% of the vote. That means 68% of the rest of the country wanted nothing to do with you. But you're still messing up our country. You know what I mean? Our electoral system, our entire way the government operates has to be torn down and rebuilt from the people up. You can't fix a problem with the pyramid, a crumbling pyramid, by replacing the peak. You have to tear it right down to the foundation and start over. Governments aren't listening to people. They're listening to money. And now they're going to start trying to outlaw our hunting rifles and our shotguns. Oh, because, they're modifiable, or they're this or they're that. Excuse me. And you know how they're going to get away with it? Because our electoral system sucks. Everybody in the city. That's where everybody, where the largest concentrations of people are. And you ask anybody walking down the street in the city, do you think guns should be banned? Yeah. Wait a minute. Let's clarify that. Why should guns be banned? Because the moment you take away my shotgun and my hunting rifle, I am no longer able to provide for my family. That should be against the law. You can't. It should be against the law. Oh, you can't put a garden in your front yard because the housing association thinks it's ugly. My friggin' land. I'll put a mud pie in the center of it if I want. You feel me? We need to be done. Do you know when I moved here? I used to keep chickens on an acre property that I rented. Then we moved into a 1/4 acre property. I still kept chickens, and I just didn't ask the township if it was okay. So when we moved here, and the first thing I want, not the first thing, but after the garden came the chickens. And I had to prove to Howie that we would be able to butcher them ourselves humanely, with respect. before he would consent to having them. So I did a demonstration for him. It's on my old Blogspot page of how I butchered chickens for the first time, all by myself, right? And then my niece phoned me one day and she says, oh, yeah, we got 2 acres. And I said, you got chickens? Oh, no, the township says we can't. I said, what do you mean? She said, well, I asked. And they said, no. I said, what are you doing asking? What are you doing asking? Unless you're living in row housing with a 10-foot square patch for a backyard, you don't got to ask anybody. And if you keep them quiet, nobody will know. Right? I have all raised beds in front garden. Nothing but cheers and copying from neighbors, thankfully. There you go. So, well, you know what, Jackie? It's the truth. We have allowed ourselves, now please, 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 don't hate me for what I'm about to say because I'm one of you. Over the last 200 years, we have allowed ourselves to be led down a path of convenience that we don't know how to get out of anymore. This is why, learning to, I had to do a lot of research before I figured out how to kill a chicken. Why? Because nobody taught me. Well, I was taught sort of. But I mean, unless these things are self-sufficiency and making your food stretch and growing food in your backyard if you can, or in buckets on your deck. These things are important because we are getting back in touch with our relationship of our food. And we're not raising a bunch of morons who stick their one thumb in their mouth and the other one up their butt and cry in a corner because bread is $5 a loaf and no one taught them how to bake it or how to buy things in season and shop on sales if you can't raise it yourself. My grandmother's roll over my mother rolls over in her grave. She fluffs up dad's ashes every time. Like someone said to me when I did the last video of $15 for 2 packages of lunch meat. She said, I wouldn't pay that. I'd roast a chicken and slice it myself. And I went, it's a convenience for me. And the thing went off in my head. The bread's a convenience too, isn't it, Bev? The bread's a convenience. The lunch meat's a convenience. You can do these things yourself for pennies on the dollar. You feel me? $5 loaf of bread or a 59-cent loaf of bread you baked yourself. Let's not count the energy because we're going to use it anyway, right? Have you heard of the natural law movement? Hi, D-Double. No, what is that? Canada is a corporation registered in Columbia, USA. Well, once upon a time, somebody would have called you a conspiracy theorist, but all we call them people now are spoiler alerts. Because I've been talking about this stuff for years and I had to stop because I was frothing at the mouth. It wasn't until I started connecting dots and I started watching it unfold. I'm 59 years old. I've seen a lot of things change in my 59 years. And I've heard about a lot of the changes because my dad was born in 1926. And my grandparents were born in the 1800s. So I'm not that far removed. Because I remember asking my father one day, Dad, why do I need a garden? And he started laughing because I wanted a garden. First thing we did when we moved to Apsley, by the time I was 14, I was 12. I couldn't dig up anything because foundations were being built, walls, rock walls were being built on driveways and all that stuff, septic beds, all that stuff. But their second year or third year in Apsley, Dad gave me a spot where I could put a garden. I said, but it's all sand. I said, I need to buy dirt. And he goes, you're not going to buy dirt. He said, go out in the woods. Take the wheelbarrow and a shovel. That's the richest, blackest earth you will ever find. Do you know why? Because the leaves fall down and they rot. We're not talking the soil around pine trees. That's way too acidic, but it's good for blueberries. See what I mean? He said, and so I did. And I took the wheelbarrow. Now, he didn't tell me that you can't just, this is why I laugh. I buy dirt because I don't have the strength to dig it up anymore. But I took the wheelbarrow and I went out in the woods. And what Dad didn't tell me is that those woods are full of roots. And getting dirt is not easy to stick a shovel in the ground of the woods. Full of roots. But the thing is, that's why I laugh whenever I see like Supernatural and they're in the woods and they're burying a body and they dig this beautiful square hole. I say, where are all the tree roots? Where are the pickaxes they had to do? Get through the tree roots, get to the dirt. You know what I mean? I buy dirt because I live in a ravine actually, and our septic bed had to be built up to be built. It had to be built up on the ravine. And that's one of the reasons why we had to enlarge our property, because half of my stuff was on neighbors' land because the boundaries were all screwed up. But what I ended up doing was not getting wheelbarrow after wheelbarrow full of beautiful black loam soil. I got beautiful black loam soil. But what I ended up doing was pouring it into rows on top of the sand and mixing it in and pouring it in rows and planting it that way. Because I could not get, I was going to need a square yard of that stuff. And I couldn't do it. And I was a young, strapping 14-year-old. Bake 2 breads today. I'm going to be doing all kinds of stuff because that kind of joggled my thing too. When someone said, why would you spend $15 on 2 packages of lunch meat? And she was right. And when I ran out, I took out the frozen meat. So this week is all about pinching the quarter. For the rest of the winter, it's going to be all about pinching the quarter. And I'm starting seeds. And I'm going to try my hand at winter sowing. So there's all kinds of stuff coming up on our half-acre homestead. Now, I've been here an hour and a half, and Howie's been very patient. So I'm going to try and do a brief prayer before we go. Anybody who doesn't want to stay, don't stay. You don't have to. There's no judgment if you want to leave. That's just the way it is. Not everybody, has a faith. Not everybody has a conscious contact with the God of their understanding. Not everybody has a God of their understanding. And that's okay. That's okay. This is where we drop the walls that religion has placed around us. And we reach out our hearts and our hands to each other. And we share the one thing that all faiths should share. And that's love and the divine light of God's love. Somebody said on Facebook, I forget what it was. Oh, you're going to anger God. When God's righteous anger and wrath comes down about something. And I said, no offense, sweetheart, and I'll love you to pieces. But if your God, it gets angry and rains down wrath upon people, then it's not God, because God is love, right? And everything else is everything else. God is love. So let's reach out our hearts and our hands and put them together and come together in the divine light of the Creator. You tap into your faith. I will tap into mine, and together we will commune. Okay? So, there's a new word for it, right? Okay, Doris, you take care. Clay and rocks. We say rocks make little rocks here. That's true. All right. Let's take some deep cleansing breaths. Breathe in the peace. Breathe out, the angst. Breathe in the light. Breathe out the darkness. Breathe in the love. Breathe out the negativity. Right? These are choices we make every day. When we're angry because we made a choice to be angry about something. And 9 times out of 10, when we're angry, it's about something we've got no control over. So a lot of wasted energy, isn't it? All right. A lot of rain and ice headed our way here in the south. Yeah, I've been having problems. I've had a new knee pain. I was, you know how, you roll over on your side in bed and you kind of bring your knees up a little bit, right? I went to bring up my right knee and it went, no, you're not. I went, I woke Howie up in the middle of the night and he said, what's the matter? I said, I don't know. It's my knee. Right? So for all those who are leaving, take care. God bless. I love you. We'll see you again on Thursday. For the rest of us, let's breathe. Let us pray. Oh, push it out. Oh, push out all that nasty stuff. Hey, God, creator, source of all, how's it going? Thank you, God, for opening my eyes, because I guess they say wisdom comes with age. And it sure does. It comes in on a dump truck. It really does. And it dumps it on us. But thank you, God, for opening my mind and opening my heart and opening my life to people and places and ideas and sharing that make my life better.
When is the Sunday supper? Midnight?
I'm in the middle of a prayer. So do you mind? Give me a minute. Thanks, dear. All right, let's try that again. Thank you, God, for bringing us all together so that we can share our ideas and our views on history and give each other ideas on how we can get through the mess that this world has become. Because we join hearts and we join hands and we share knowledge and we share love and ideas. We are the reason that our children are going to move forward, or our grandchildren are going to move forward into a better appreciation and relationship with the planet that we live on and with God, the Creator. Everything is connected. So God, for all those folks out there who are having a hard time, they don't understand why they're angry or they're addicted or they're hurt or they're alone or they're sick, and they don't necessarily sometimes know how to reach out to you, or even if you exist, we're going to lift all those people up to you, God, because we will share our faith with them. Please, God, rain the sunshine and warmth of your love down upon these poor souls who are confused and alone and hurt and angry and sick. Okay? We got them, God, because you have given us the power to do that, to share our love and our light by leading by example. Thank you, God. And thank you for all my friends and family on YouTube that come forward every week so that, we can be real together. That's so important. Man. Sorry about that. It was a little dragged out. Namaste. Shalom. Peace be with you. Merry meet, blessed be. Walk in the shining light of God, whatever language you use when you pray or when you speak to the source of your faith. Ain't love the language we all like to hear? Take care. God bless. See you guys on Thursday.